Let's be honest, this is a topic most men are curious about, but almost nobody talks about openly. Maybe in a quick joke or as vague advice whispered among friends, but so many men over 50 wonder, does what I eat really affect the way I taste to my partner? And if so, how can I make sure it's a flavor she actually enjoys, maybe even looks forward to? Whether you're in a long-term relationship, dating again, or just want to feel as attractive and confident as possible, this is one of those small details that makes a big difference in intimacy. I've worked with hundreds of men who want the full picture when it comes to sexual vitality after 50. Not just more stamina, but feeling desired, arousing your partner, and creating positive feedback, so intimacy is something both of you crave, not just tolerate. Diet is a game changer. No, it's not a magic bullet, nothing is, but it's absolutely one of the quickest ways to influence your natural scent, taste, and the whole experience for both of you. Before we get started, drop a quick comment down below. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. It's always amazing to see this tribe of men committed to personal growth, connection, and real results. My full disclaimer is in the description below. First, let me set your mind at ease. Everyone has a unique body chemistry, and there's no single right way you should taste. But food, hydration, and daily habits play a huge role. When men ask if changing what they eat can make them more inviting, the answer is a confident yes if you know what to focus on and what to avoid. Let's start with a fact. Very few people realize what you eat, drink, and even how often you move is reflected in every fluid your body produces. That includes sweat, saliva, and yes, semen. Semen is mostly water, but contains natural sugars, amino acids, minerals, and trace compounds that can be affected by your daily choices. If your partner's ever given you, shall we say, honest feedback, you already know how direct the link can be. There's no need for shame, just science, and a few simple tweaks that can turn something neutral or unappealing into a flavor you're both proud of. So, why does this matter, especially after 50? As a men's vitality coach, I see this shift for two big reasons. First, metabolism and hydration tend to change, and the body's natural filters, like the liver and kidneys, become less efficient at clearing out traces of strong foods, medications, or dehydration. That means what you eat lingers longer, and it can have a stronger influence on all your secretions. Second, relationships at this stage are often deeper, more honest, and both partners are more willing to talk about what works and what doesn't. That gives you a real advantage because you can take the feedback and turn it into surprising, exciting results. Now, let's get into the real advice. I'm going to walk you through 8 proven, practical dietary shifts that can make you taste cleaner, fresher, and yes, more enjoyable to your partner. Some of these you'll recognize, but a few might surprise you. As always, it's not about never eat this or only eat that. Instead, it's about creating the daily patterns and rituals that work with your unique body and preferences. First and most critical, hydration. I know you've heard this a million times for every physical function, but here it's absolutely foundational. The more dehydrated you are, the more concentrated and potentially bitter or salty your semen becomes. Men over 50 in particular tend to slip into chronic low-level dehydration, maybe from coffee, tea, medications, or not wanting to get up in the night. But if you want a sweet, clean, and mild taste, trust me, the feedback is almost unanimous from women on this. Water is your best friend. Aim for 2 to 3 liters a day and add an extra glass of water about an hour before you expect intimacy. Second diet tip, load up on naturally sweet fruits. This is one of those old wives' tales that actually has real backing. Fruits like pineapple, papaya, mango, and even kiwi fruit are rich in enzymes and natural sugars. They don't just make semen taste sweeter, they help clear out bitter byproducts and create a cleaner overall body flavor. I've had partners write in and say, after a couple weeks of daily pineapple or blended smoothies, the difference is so dramatic that it's become a playful inside ritual. His flavor is the dessert now. If there's one simple treat to start with, make it a fruit serving a day. Tip 3. Boost your intake of greens, especially parsley, celery, and raw spinach. Leafy and herbaceous greens are some of nature's most powerful body deodorizers. Chlorophyll, abundant in these veggies, acts as an internal cleanser, binding to sulfur-containing compounds, like those from meat, onions, strong seasonings, or stress hormones, and making all your fluids cleaner and less pungent. Even a few sprigs of parsley added to lunch, celery in a smoothie, or a spinach salad once a day can lead to a noticeable improvement in just weeks. Fourth important shift, watch out for flavor saboteurs. There are certain foods that, no matter how healthy they are for other reasons, consistently come up as the biggest offenders for unpleasant taste and smell: garlic, onions, cabbage, broccoli, and especially asparagus. All are rich in sulfur-based compounds which, when not neutralized, can create a sharp, bitter, or chemical flavor. That doesn't mean you need to eliminate them. Many are important for health and hormone support. But if you know a special night is coming, it's smart to minimize them for 24 to 48 hours ahead of time. On the topic of flavor, let's not forget processed food and fast food. That's diet tip 5. Fatty, greasy, and highly processed meals linger in your system and are strongly correlated with complaints of sour, musty, or rotten aftertaste, especially in men over 50 whose digestion has slowed a bit. The solution is simple. Cut back on fried foods, packaged snacks, and especially those with lots of artificial flavor enhancers or preservatives. Instead, opt for grilled proteins, baked or steamed veggies, and real whole grains. Now, a lot of men want to know if dairy and red meat are really as bad as some sources claim. The answer, surprisingly, is less about total elimination and more about balance and timing. Heavy dairy and lots of red meat can make semen thicker and more difficult to digest for your partner's taste buds, and sometimes bring an earthy or musky note that not everyone loves. But small portions, paired with greens and plenty of water, are usually just fine. If you find you have a heavier taste, try cutting red meat to a couple times a week and experiment with sheep or goat cheeses instead of cow's milk products, which some women report as milder on the palate. Here's something a lot of men never think about: spices and herbs can be used to your advantage. Tip number 7 is to use cinnamon, cardamom, and even a touch of mint where you can in your meals and drinks. These work two ways. They're natural deodorizers, and they can lend a light, subtly sweet note to your fluids. Cinnamon in your morning oats, a little mint in an afternoon tea, or cardamom in a yogurt can all help move things in a more pleasant direction. And finally, a tip that might feel non-intuitive: focus on gut health, not just what's coming out. Your overall microbiome, the good bacteria living in your digestive tract, play a huge role in metabolizing and neutralizing odor compounds, and they influence the pH and sugar content of all your secretions. Men with a healthy gut, think daily fiber, some fermented foods, and minimal antibiotics, almost always report better experiences with taste and scent, not just for their semen, but for sweat and breath too. Simple steps like adding a probiotic yogurt, sauerkraut, or even an over-the-counter probiotic supplement can make a marked difference within weeks. If any of this sounds daunting, remember, you don't have to overhaul your whole lifestyle in a day. Start with 1 or 2 diet tweaks, drink more water, add a pineapple, experiment with a green smoothie. Check in with your partner, ask for honest feedback with a sense of humor, and adjust as you go. The men who succeed here do it not out of shame or pressure, but out of curiosity and a desire to make intimacy more rewarding for both people. What I love most is that these changes tend to create ripple effects. A cleaner, more enjoyable taste leads to more relaxed, confident intimacy, which in turn leads to stronger connection and often more frequent adventures behind closed doors. I've seen relationships transform just from a man showing he cares about his partner's enjoyment in this very personal, sometimes misunderstood way. But the best part is yet to come. There's even more science, some next-level tricks like the role of hydration timing, the impact of stress on body chemistry, and a few delicious recipes that combine several of these tips for maximum effect. And I want you to understand that when you invest in your own health, the benefits go far beyond taste. More energy, better mood, a stronger immune system. These are side effects both of you will notice. One thing men often overlook is how hydration and diet choices on the day of intimacy, not just overall habits, can shape your partner's experience. For example, timing your fruit and water intake to lead up to the evening can maximize the freshness and natural sweetness you've been working toward. Some men even make it a ritual, prepping a fruit platter and sharing hydrating snacks with their partner as a sensuous, light lead-in to connection. This does double duty. It increases intimacy and ensures you're hydrated, primed, and ready to impress in every sense. You might also notice subtle differences depending on your activity level and stress load. During busy or high-stress periods, your body tends to shunt resources toward essential functions and, as a side effect, flavor can become more concentrated or bitter. That's because stress hormones change the chemical balance in all bodily fluids. What can you do? On tough days, double down on hydration, opt for lighter meals emphasizing greens and fruit, and, if you're feeling on edge, consider a quick meditation or calming shower before intimacy. Lowering stress not only improves your mood and performance, but helps keep your chemistry naturally sweeter. Hygiene plays a surprisingly big role in this equation. While daily showers are a given for most men, it's the little details that make all the difference. Staying trimmed, keeping the area clean, especially with a gentle, fragrance-free wash, and changing into fresh clothes before intimacy all support the healthiest, cleanest experience for your partner. For some men, adding a warm shower or bath shortly before can feel both relaxing and energizing, helping create a fresh start, both mentally and physically. Let's get practical with a few food combinations that never fail to impress. Try a breakfast smoothie built from pineapple, spinach, frozen mango, a squeeze of lime, and coconut water. Hydrating, packed with natural sweetness and the right minerals. Lunch can be a colorful salad topped with celery and parsley, roasted chicken, a scattering of pomegranate seeds, and a splash of olive oil and lemon. These foods help your body build a mild, appealing profile from the inside out. In the evening, swap heavy or spicy dinners for grilled fish or turkey, brown rice, plenty of vegetables, and a dessert of fresh fruit or a little natural yogurt with cinnamon or cardamom. It's also worth pointing out that some hydration habits work better than others. While plain water is ideal, herbal teas like peppermint and green tea offer added deodorizing benefits while being gentle on your body's chemistry. Be cautious with excess caffeine and especially with alcohol. Both can dehydrate and tend to amplify any underlying bitterness or heaviness in taste. In fact, alcohol is the most common culprit men forget about. Even a couple drinks the day before intimacy can linger, giving a sour or hot aftertaste, so moderation or abstention before a special night can really make a difference. Communicate openly and playfully with your partner about these changes. I've heard from many wives and girlfriends, especially in long-term relationships, who were secretly delighted when their partner said, "I want you to enjoy everything about us, including the taste. Make it a team project. If she's game, prepare healthy, flavorful meals together, share feedback in the spirit of curiosity, and let it create a new sense of excitement and trust between you." Another often overlooked factor is oral hygiene and general gut health. Brushing, flossing, and keeping your mouth clean reduces the risk of bacteria transferring undesirable tastes. Including a daily probiotic, as well as fiber-rich foods, can improve both the scent and flavor by supporting your body's natural balance. All of this lends itself not only to a fresher tasting experience, but greater overall well-being. More energy, clearer skin, even a mood boost. Some men wonder if masking the flavor with sweets or mints before intimacy is useful. In my experience, a clean internal foundation always wins over temporary covers. Mints, gums, or even sugared foods right before may temporarily change the mouth, but they won't improve what your partner experiences. Focus on the daily choices, not just pre-intimacy rituals, and you'll discover the changes are consistent and lasting. That said, small touches like mouthwash, mint tea, or breath strips can be a nice final step for total freshness. Remember, variety is your friend. The body responds well to shifts in seasonality and color. Rotate the fruits, experiment with different leafy vegetables, and try new fresh herbs beyond just parsley. Think basil, cilantro, dill, or microgreens. Each brings specific cleansing compounds and natural enzymes that maintain a lighter, brighter flavor profile for both you and your partner. And don't underestimate the psychological benefit of these efforts. As you take charge of your health and flavor, You'll feel more confident, self-aware, and generous, a mindset your partner not only notices but is naturally attracted to. Being a man who invests in these details sends a clear message about your respect and affection, turning an often taboo topic into a unique point of connection. Many men report that the better their nutrition and hydration, the better their overall experience of intimacy. Not only does the flavor improve, but sensitivity increases, recovery tightens, and the body's responses feel more positive and reliable. There's a full circle benefit. When your partner enjoys every aspect of connection, she relaxes, opens up more, and craves intimacy more often. The ultimate win-win. Let's quickly revisit your key strategies. Hydrate deeply every day, especially before intimacy. Prioritize naturally sweet fruits like pineapple, mango, and papaya. Build salads and meals around greens and fresh herbs. Limit heavy, processed, and artificial foods, especially before times of connection. And partner up with your loved one to make these changes enjoyable and shared. Finally, give yourself permission to experiment and have fun. Keep notes on what changes have the most effect, invite feedback with playfulness, and celebrate the moments of shared enjoyment you create together. The journey to a more appealing, enjoyable, and confident you is absolutely worth it for both your health and your relationship. Let me know in the comments, which one of these tips are you most excited to try out? Any surprising results or recipes you discover, share them with the community. Your story might be exactly the encouragement another man needs to give this a shot. And if you don't want to miss more exclusive strategies like these, insider science, practical nutrition, and direct answers to questions most men are too shy to ask, make sure you're subscribed. Every week we open up new doors to intimacy, well-being, and real confidence for men over 50. Finally, if you thought of someone, a friend, a brother, a partner who'd appreciate a little boost in this highly personal area, share this video directly. You never know how much impact a tip, a laugh, or a thoughtful nudge can bring. Supporting each other's growth is one of the best gifts we can share. Until next time, take care.